If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, we have Jamall Emmers on the show. He's coming off his fourth consecutive win, another finish to boot, submitting Rafael Barbosa in the third round via an arm triangle choke in the main event of LFA 81 this past Friday night. Jamall, how are you, man?
Great. Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Congratulations on the win. Very game opponent you shared the cage with on Friday. You put him away in the third round. How does it all feel a little less than 4 days later?
I still feel good about it. I done came down off the high of winning a little bit, so I'm just ready to get back in there and train, really.
How would you grade your performance overall if you were like a professor or something?
I'm real tough on myself, so I probably give myself a C minus.
A C minus? I expected somewhere in the C's. That's how you fighters typically are. You're very hard on yourselves. You're very tough graders. But why a C minus?
It's like I said in the post-fight interview, I made the fight a little harder than it needed to be. I probably could have got him out there earlier than that, but just, I don't know. Sometimes just you're in the mood and you just feeling good and you just float, and I think that's what happened.
Did anything surprise you in the fight at all?
Just trying to figure out the range, like. On paper, I saw that he was like 6 feet tall. I think he was a little taller than that. I think probably like 6'1". So when I saw him, I was like, oh shit, he's a little taller than I thought. So I think just his range and the way he uses his jab and his cross, but I figured it out. So and I got the W. So I think that was probably the only challenge I had.
You looked great in the fight. You got the submission, and you've won 4 straight since we saw you on Dana White's Contender series against Julian Erosa. You'd come in there also on a 4-fight winning streak, and that night didn't go your way. It's interesting fighting in a smaller place like that, fighting in front of Dana White and the matchmakers, taking on a guy with nearly 30 pro fights under his belt. What were you able to take away from that experience?
I think for me, it was more of me growing up. That was one of those, what they say, growing pains. I think that was it. Like, I had to mature mentally in that space, and that fight helped me.
Did it light a fire under you to, get past that growing pain, so to speak? Did it motivate you a little bit more to continue to improve and evolve as a fighter after that night?
I've always been the type of guy that's never rested on my laurels. So, like, not too much. It just made me see the picture more full, I guess, if you can say that.
Like you said and sort of touched on, there's improvements to be made after every fight. What would you say is the biggest difference between the Jamall Emmers who fought on the Contender series in 2018 to the guy we see in front of us right now?
I think it's just a mental thing. It's not nothing physical. I'm probably a little bit faster than I was. I would say a little bit faster, but I think it was just more of me maturing. That was the biggest takeaway I got from that experience, is being more mature.
So Friday night, you get the win, and in this crazy sport, we don't let you savor the flavor of a victory too much. People want to know what's next and everything like that. What would you like next? When would you like to return if you had a say in the matter?
As soon as possible. I didn't get beat up too bad in the fight. Got stitches, and that's it. So whenever these come out, I'm ready to get back in there. Just whenever.
Are you at a point in your career where you're wondering, like, man, what do I have to do to get that call? I mean, I bounced back from the Contender Series fight. I got 4 straight finishes since that fight with Julian Erosa. I mean, come on now. Like, are you at that point right now where you're like, where's my call? Where's my opportunity?
No, not really, because I understand how the business works and how the sport works. So if it happens, it happens. Like that's the goal, of course. But sometimes you only control what you can control. So I'm not like too how can I say this? Like anxious, like I'm a kid on Christmas. I just can't wait. It's like it's a chance it can happen, it's a chance it won't happen. But I'm more hoping it will happen. You know, I said that to myself, and they gotta call me today. Check my phone. If they call me today, maybe they'll call me tomorrow. You know, stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, like if I gotta keep working and keep winning to get there, that's what I just have to do. I just have to do. You know, I'm not, like worried about it too much, I guess.
You take it a day at a time. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, we're just gonna keep grinding away.
Yeah, that's all I can do. You know, all I can do is keep working, keep improving.
Would you be down for another Contender Series fight? I mean, we've seen a lot of guys get second cracks at it, sometimes even a third. Would you be up for doing that another time and getting in that way if you had the chance?
Yeah, whichever way I gotta get in there. Like I'm not gonna shy away from any work. You know, like guess I'm a blue collar type of guy, so I don't mind having to put in the work to get to where I want to get to.
I know you attended Bellator 238 a couple weeks ago. It was a big event for that organization, and you did something that you don't normally do. You fanboyed out a little bit with the ladies, with Kat Zingano and Beck Rawlings and Jessica Penne. Did you enjoy the night at the Forum overall between the fights and who you got to meet, etc.?
Yeah, of course. It was a good experience. My teammate Darrion Caldwell, he fought in the co-main event. Just being able to be back there and see how it all functions, I was more excited about that, like meeting people, just seeing like his process to going into this fight. It's a big fight for him, so just back there riding the ride with him. So that was more exciting for me. And the fact that he got the win in the first round, I was like, it just looked like the cherry on top,
Yeah, he looked phenomenal in that fight. That was sort of a statement win, in my opinion. I think he needed a win like that to sort of shut a lot of people up. Do you think he shut down those critics, so to speak?
Oh, of course he did. That was the guy he beat the guy nobody wanted to fight. So, like, I told him going in, I was like, "Watch, you gonna shock the world right now." I wasn't too surprised that it happened like the way it happened. Because I train with him every day, and I know what he catches me on.
Now he's gonna fight AJ McKee. That is gonna be a crazy fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be real exciting.
Can you see Bellator being a potential destination for you in your fighting career?
Yeah, I'm not shying away from any opportunity I can get. Like I know how the fight game is. You only got a small period of time to make as much money as you can. So I ain't gonna shy away from any opportunity I can get.
Are you fighting full time? Are you do you just train and fight full time, or do you do other things as well?
I teach also. So like I teach at my gym, of course, where I'm at. I'm in charge of like the kids MMA program over there.
So you get to see the next generation. It's crazy how far the sport has come along. Now you're seeing these like kids getting into jiu-jitsu classes 6-7 years old, and by the time they're like 12, 13, 14, you're like, oh my god, like wait till they're actually able to get in there and fight people. It's crazy how different the sport is now compared to where it was like 10 years ago.
Right. Like it's crazy to see, like, especially like the kids nowadays, like, man, like they just whatever you teach them, they're just attached to it and like, all right, I got it. Boom. And then it's like to the next thing. Like, man, the way they learn is crazy.
I'm sure that you're a guy who likes to, I know you're taking things one thing at a time, one day at a time in terms of phone calls and opportunities and things like that. But in terms of goals and aspirations that you've set for yourself for 2020, if we're having this conversation at the end of the year, what do you hope we're talking about?
At the end of the year, maybe if we have this conversation, I'm fighting a top 20 guy in the UFC.
I like it, man. By the way, can I get your thoughts on Jacob Rosales' choice of fight shorts on Friday? I mean, that seems to have gotten more buzz coming out of that event than anything else, which is crazy. What did you think of that?
Well, when he originally showed me them, I was like, I don't think they're gonna let you wear them on TV, bro. So he was like, no, I think they'll let me wear them. And I was like, man, look who you got on your shorts. And he was like, I think it's badass, right? And I'm like, man, if you like it, I love it. Like, so, like, I was like, man, this dude really actually won. Like, he's a character, like, he's a good good friend of mine, a training partner. Like he's fun dude to be around, but he you know, he's into the horror stuff. Like he like the gore and like blood and stuff. So I think that's part of him. Like he like shock value, you know. So, but man, I kind of laughed at it. I was like, man, this dude is crazy. He's had these serial killers on his shorts. So okay.
Yeah, he's getting beat up pretty bad on that, but it is, you know, it is what it is. That's who he is. So
Yeah,
if that's the choice he made, it's the choice he made.
Yeah, that's why I respect him more for just knowing it was gonna happen and still doing it, because that's who he is. Like I like guys like that. Don't shy away from who they really are.
Jamall Emmers joins us coming off another great win at LFA 81 in the main event. 4th straight win and 4th straight finish for the pretty boy. Congratulations, Jamall. Appreciate the time, man. Before we let you go, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest, man. The floor is yours.
Yeah, social media, Instagram, Pretty Boy Emmers, Facebook, Jamall Pretty Boy Emmers. Follow my gyms page on Instagram, Pinnacle MMA. Yeah, that's it. You know, I want to thank everybody that support me out there, friends, family, teammates. You know, I'm gonna just keep doing my best to get to where I'm going. So that's about it.
Thank you, Jamall. Continued success. Look forward to seeing what is next for you, man. I hope you get that call sooner rather than later.
Thank you.